Hi guys, Mornight here, and today I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me just back in my universe a couple of minutes ago. Well, not exactly, but I only got back a couple of minutes ago, so I'll tell you the story now. It's actually quite crazy, and it was a hard decision for me. You'll get what I mean. Right. One day, when the first Pokemon began becoming supervillains, I covered that before, I had not yet gotten my name as Mornight. I was a young teen, and I was joyous because, as you might already know, my creativity had allowed me to go up and see the Colossal with my own eyes. And since then, my hair had began becoming pink, and my skin began becoming blotchy. I thought nothing of it until my eyes couldn't open fully anymore. I woke up later that month and saw that my face and stature had become like a maw, a very common mice-singing monster. I had no eyes or ears, but somehow I could sense everything around me, and even pierce people's ears with a sonic shriek. I realized what this could mean for me and my city, and so I built myself a suit and went out to stop crime. 2 years later, this is after I did all those videos explaining it with Mechanite, I was in a crowd and I was wondering if other people that had meditated and seen the Colossal, because as you might know, I think I covered this, you can meditate and go up in a spiritual form to see the mice-singing monsters. However, you can't touch or even interact at all with the guards. So, I was in a crowd and I was wondering if other people could have gone up and been blessed by them, just like how I was blessed by a maw. Then, I saw a person with green skin walk into a suspicious alleyway. Thinking it was a criminal, I followed after them. And then, that's where I found the Singer Squad, a team of superheroes, not well known, but they had also gained their powers from the Monster Guards. They had been looking for me to join their team, and I joined. Let me just explain, their superpowers and all of that, because then, it helps me get a better understanding, and then we can both do a better job at making sure to stop the Pokemon supervillains from destroying the city. Right, to start off, this is Pot Beast. He's the one I saw in the crowd. His abilities include enhanced hearing, sight, smell, etc., and slight super strength. He gained his powers from a common potbelly. Now, this guy, 2 faces as you can tell, that's part of what makes his vision so helpful. And this one, I do believe, from what I gathered, he was the one to create the group, but he's not the leader. We'll get to them later on. He looks like a potbelly, but also at the same time, he's quite different from a potbelly, because he can actually move around. Though he doesn't move around much, and his eyes don't work the best they could, since potbelly don't actually have eyes, but those really don't hurt him too much. Like I said, he has enhanced sight, despite his eyes, a bit like me before I just lost my eyes, not being able to fully open. That seems to be a common symptom when you're getting blessed. Weird. Anyway, next up, this is the Grump Man, as they called him. He had some of the most outlandish abilities out of them all. He could heal them, and so though that power was mainly used outside of battle, as you can tell. He could launch beams of black lightning, though they weren't very strong. He could produce smoke bombs for them to get away, and he could slightly fly. His powers are gained from a Grumpile. We don't know whether it was common, rare, or even epic. As soon as he got his abilities, he began to tell me about how, when he went out in sunlight, his skin would begin to bubble, just like he was being melted. And then it turned white, a bit like the epic Grumpile. That's why we're so confused on which one it is. He has wings, and they're kind of falling apart, but that's mainly just from all the missions. He's not the best at hand-to-hand combat. He prefers to keep a distance and warn the rest of us. But when he does get into battle, you better believe he can be a force to be reckoned with. Now, he has to wear this hoodie, otherwise he just will, like I said, his skin will begin melting. It's kind of weird, but I guess it makes sense. His eye patch, I think that's just an aesthetic thing. I've seen under it, and it don't look like he has no eye like me, or even an injured one like the Pot Beast. Well, I shouldn't say injured. More just doesn't work properly. I mean, yeah, I guess. Next up, these are the Bisonorous brothers. There's two of them, so I kind of lied in saying they were one here, but they do work together for most of their missions. The larger one, named Dunley, has increased heat resistance and largely enhanced strength. The smaller one, Doomdom, has a useful lasso tail and the ability to control fire. They both gained their powers from a common Bisonorous. Before they were just brothers. Right. The main way they attack is they work together, but not really fully. Doomdom will usually pull in enemies with his lasso tail and then burn them to a crisp with his fire. And if they do get cornered together, well, luckily, since Dunley has heat resistance, Doomdom can still use his fire, and then Dunley can charge into them with his super strength. They're quite a powerful combo if they get set up right, but if an enemy manages to corner them in the wrong place, they will need saving sometimes. I guess that's just family. Next up, the leader, Galvia. Now, Galvia, her abilities include increased IQ, lightning bending from her staff, and advanced acrobatic maneuvers. She can even control some drones she made called Wubba drones that can shoot out electricity. She gained her powers from the celestial Galvana, which she must have done a lot of meditating and respecting the monster gods for that one. She's the leader of the group. She handles all the missions in that. She seems to have changed and mutated the least from the transformation. She says that her staff, she didn't actually create it. She just woke up with it one day. Now, there are even the orbs on the Wubba drones, similar to that in her staff, but not nearly as powerful. She usually sends out Wubba drones to see if the coast is clear, or just for, not supervillains, just regular criminals and robbers. However, when it's a supervillain that gets involved, for example, Yen Mega Man, she can be the one to handle them. Her advanced acrobatic maneuvers and her electric staff mean she can fight up close and from far away. She's probably the strongest member on the team. I would say even stronger than me, but not sure about that one. Well, I don't know, really. You tell me who you think is stronger in the comments below. Anyway, I should probably get back to them. They thought I was crazy when I talked to them about this dimension hopping, but they did say it made sense for Lugara. So, they kinda believe me, kinda don't. They said they need to see it to believe it, so